From the Gypsy King being too outspoken for his own good, to him possibly hindering his success by being the way that he is. Here's why fans and spectators hate Tyson Fury. Fury's one of the best boxers of all time, but this man just has no filter. After a dominant professional debut in 2008, Fury continued to destroy his opponents until he finally got a chance to win the heavyweight titles in 2015. After a unanimous decision win over Vladimir Klitschko, not only did Fury win the 5 heavyweight championships, but he even became the lineal heavyweight champ. He was on top of the world, but because of his struggles with mental health, he took a break from the sport. Once he came back, he looked better than ever. And now he's the WBC heavyweight champ. Though Tyson's still prone to speaking without thinking things through, when you're a public figure and the world heavyweight champion of boxing, you need to be careful about what you say. After all, he has numerous fans all around the world, and the media is always keeping an eye on what he says. So he has no choice but to take all of this into account before talking. But that's never going to happen. This dude will say whatever the hell he wants, whenever he wants, and it's been such a recurring issue that he's lost many fans while also losing the respect of others in the boxing world. Keeping this in mind, it's no surprise that Fury's found himself in a bunch of controversies over the years, with some being particularly bad. As expected, all of the drama he's been involved in has only painted a terrible picture of him. The first time Tyson found himself in trouble was in 2013, when he decided to trash-talk David Price and Tony Bell on Twitter by calling them gay lovers, while also insulting their families. The secretary of the Boxing Board of Control, Robert Smith, said that what Fury did was wrong, as he himself is a license holder, yet he was abusing other license holders. He went on to describe the Gypsy King's actions as unacceptable, and in order to get the point across, Fury was fined £3,000. Tyson realized that he needed to pipe down a little, but then later in 2013 he got into another social media spat, this time with Lennox Lewis and Klitschko, when he made anti-gay tweets again. Despite receiving backlash for what he said, this wasn't the only time Tyson found himself in hot water for his homophobic comments. Back in 2015, Fury made headlines for all the wrong reasons. During an interview with the Mail on Sunday, he said that there are only 3 things that need to be accomplished before the devil comes home. According to Fury, one of them is homosexuality being legalized in countries, one of them is abortion, and the other one is pedophilia. And mind you, this was around the time everyone started being far more open towards same-sex marriages. So Fury saying this obviously raised a lot of eyebrows. The champ also said that, "When I say pedophiles could be made legal, it sounds crazy. But if I had said to you about the first 2 being made legal in the 50s, I would have been looked upon as a crazy man." Tyson backed up his comments by saying that this was merely him pointing out what the Bible says, rather than him stating his opinion. Either way, it would have been better if he just kept his mouth shut, because thanks to his comments, he was investigated for a hate crime. Fury tried to clear up his name by saying that he doesn't hate anybody, but it's hard to believe that when he has such a long history of being homophobic. As if that wasn't enough, he also found himself in trouble for his sexist comments towards women. Much like himself, Jessica Ennis-Hill was a nominee for BBC's Sportsperson of the Year award in 2015, and when Fury was asked for his thoughts on the athlete, he said the stupidest thing he possibly could have in that situation. After saying she's good since she's won a bunch of medals, he went on to say, "When she's got a dress on, she looks quite fit." This alone was pretty misogynistic, but Tyson made even worse comments about women on another occasion. When he was asked about female boxers and women in general, he said, "I think they're very nice when they're walking around the ring, holding cards. I like them, actually. They give me inspiration when I'm tired. I'm all for it." To make matters worse, this dude straight up said, "I believe a woman's best place is in the kitchen, making me a good cup of tea. Yikes." As you can imagine, everyone was pissed, because who the hell speaks like that? He was objectifying women like crazy for no reason. The backlash was far worse this time, and at this point, over 75,000 people signed a petition to get him removed as a nominee in 2015 for the BBC's Sports Personality of the Year. Everyone was done with him because of his homophobic and sexist comments. Heck, there was even a protest of almost 40 people outside the SSE Arena in Belfast, where the event was being held, as BBC didn't remove him as a nominee. John O'Doherty, director of the Rainbow Project, said that it was really disappointing to see how the BBC handled the situation, while others described the Gypsy King's comments as appalling and having no place in modern society. Fury made sure to apologize at the ceremony, and Gary Lineker even questioned the boxer live on stage. But Fury simply said he never says anything to hurt people since it's all about fun and games to him.
It's all a bit of tongue-in-cheek and it's all fun and games for me. I'm not really a serious type of person. Everything's happy-go-lucky with Tyson Fury.
On top of being misogynistic and homophobic, Fury's even made anti-Semitic comments. Just 1 year after his drama-filled 2015, Tyson was back in the headlines for the wrong reasons. During an interview with SportsView, he said, "Zionist, Jewish people own all the banks, all the papers, and all the TV stations." The campaign against anti-Semitism called for Fury to be barred from the sport and even made a complaint to the British Boxing Board. On top of that, they called for his sponsors to stop endorsing him as well since they thought his comments showed ignorance and malice. Once again, Fury gave his usual half-hearted apology, saying sorry to those he hurt because of his comments. Besides all these controversies, he's also become more hated as of late because he runs his mouth more than he fights people. When Fury returned to boxing and had that insane trilogy with Wilder, he instantly became a fan favorite with everyone declaring him the best heavyweight. But as time's gone on, they realized he's the real dosser. All this guy's been doing for years is just talking trash to anyone and everyone for no reason. Yet he rarely actually commits to fighting them. He never agreed to fight AJ, and after ages, he finally agreed to fight Alexander Usyk. What's more, this dude keeps retiring and then unretiring, which makes fans more annoyed at him. The tip of the iceberg was when he called out Jon Jones and claimed he'd kick his ass. Anyone with a brain knows that Jones is the greatest fighter of all time, so a boxer most definitely won't do anything to him. Much like Tyson, his dad, John Fury, also loves to run his mouth, and that's another reason why Tyson's hated. During press conferences, John acts like a child and randomly starts yelling, so he doesn't give anyone else a chance to even speak. The Gypsy King's a grown man now, so always having his dad by his side isn't necessary at all, especially since he doesn't know how to act. As you can see, Tyson's popularity's already been on a downward spiral, but his match against Francis Ngannou added more fuel to the fire. Everyone thought it would be an easy W for Fury since he's the experienced heavyweight champ, though on fight night, it was the Predator who wowed us all. Not only did he box with amazing technique and give Tyson a run for his money, but he knocked the champ down. It was a performance for the ages, and almost everyone had Ngannou winning the fight. So when the judges announced that they scored it in favor of Fury, fans complained of Francis getting robbed. Now everyone looks at Tyson as the dude who almost lost to a man who had never boxed before. This is a terrible spot to be in, and as I told you, he's already lost fans because of his controversial views. So will all of this come in the way of him being more successful? Well, so far, it hasn't, but it definitely could at this point. Fury didn't look good against Francis, and the boxing world believes that Usyk will make light work of the WBC champ. So whatever little fans the Gypsy King had even after all those terrible controversies aren't on his side anymore, cause it seems as if his boxing skills aren't as good. A loss to Usyk would make Fury's downfall official, and if he keeps talking so much trash rather than actually focusing on the toughest fight of his career, that might become a reality. So from the Gypsy King possibly hindering his success by being the way that he is, to him being too outspoken for his own good, that was why fans and spectators hate Tyson Fury.